So my everyday car was the McLaren 720S back then. And when I heard that McLaren Automotive, they were kind of designing or thinking of designing a car in honor of McLaren Senna, and they were going to make it the most track-focused hypercar that comes out of the factory, of course I was intrigued. The difference between the McLaren Senna and other hypercars in my collection is that when you look at the Senna, I mean, you either like it, love it, or you don't. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship. And in the case of McLaren Senna, it's form follows function. So they did not concentrate too much on the aesthetics of the car as much as they did on making this car the meanest thing on the track. With the McLaren Senna, the features that stands out the most, of course, is the aerodynamics in the car. I mean, if you look at the car, every detail on the exterior serves function and serves aerodynamics. The downforce collectively from the aerodynamics on this car is almost 800 kilograms of downforce, 500 kilograms being just the spoiler alone. Let's be realistic. I mean, this is not a car that you go shopping in. It's track focused. There's no baggage compartments there. You can't store anything. The car is extremely noisy, so it's not an everyday car. That's why, I mean, it's just a car that basically you'll enjoy on the track. A lot of people ask me about the specs, my specking of the McLaren Senna. I mean, if you look at it, it's British green with the yellow accents. It's basically honoring McLaren Senna, who was a Formula One driver who died in wild racing in Italy in '94. He was a Brazilian driver, so these are the colors of the Brazilian flag. Okay, I mean, when you think of the McLaren Senna and the lineup of the McLaren hypercars, I mean, McLaren started with the F1, and they did the P1, and everybody was expecting the Senna to be kind of a lineage or the successor car of the P1, but it's not. P1 is actually more aggressive and faster. But this car, like I said, when it came out of McLaren, it was purely to showcase McLaren's ability and technology to have a car that's really on the track. So it's part of the Ultimate Series, but it's not a successor of the F1, because the successor of F1, everybody knows the Speedtail, and we know now the successor of the P1 is the upcoming W1. Basically, when I'm driving the McLaren Senna on the road, you get a reaction, that's for sure. Everybody looks, it's a head turner. But again, like, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You know, some people either say that's the ugliest car they've ever seen, and some people just sit, look, and think. So it's, like I said, it's a love-hate relationship with it. You like it or not. It's growing on me. I think it's a beautiful car. But I mean, it's all about function. The car is all about function. Like I said, it's from the part of the Ultimate series of McLaren. It was only done in a limited run of 500 cars, and it's like the most hyper track car that came out of McLaren. So this car ultimately it's a very desirable car. It's one that you enjoy driving and also appreciates in value with time. Initially, when they revealed the car in London back in 2017 or 18, I mean, I had mixed feelings, but like I said, aesthetically, it kind of grew on me, and I find it appealing. So I mean, started off with buying the 720S, McLaren 720S, which is a beautiful car to drive, and then that got me buying the Senna, and then I got more and more addicted, and then I got the McLaren Elva, which is the Speedster. I tried for the Speedtail, but they wouldn't give it to me, and then I got the W1. If I was going to describe this car on the track, I would say the badass. So, I mean, McLaren Senna, as you can see, it's all carbon fiber. It's a very light car, so you can easily bend the carbon fiber on the car. I mean, aerodynamically, air goes in this way, goes in, comes out of this, hugs the rope. What's interesting about this car is those flaps, and you can't see them, but they on full throttle, these flaps are open to let the air go in. So air comes in through these air intakes. Of course, with the heat from the tires, there's got a lot of positive pressure, a lot of heat. So the air comes in with great negative pressure, and all the air comes out, all the heat comes out. So all these air intakes here just feeds those massive radiators cools down the car. This is a especially interesting feature on the McLaren Senna, which is called gurney flaps. What that does is it kind of flips the air, creates a negative pressure again, and with all the hot air coming from the engines through these louvers, so that kind of pushes all that hot air this way so it doesn't interfere with the aerodynamics of the spoiler. Okay, so this is the most interesting feature on the Senna, which is the spoiler. This massive thing is active, so it's an active air brake. When you're going at full throttle, there's an air, the air drag reduction system. Basically, the spoiler stays in this kind of configuration. When you hit the brakes, this goes up 35 degrees and acts as an air brake and gives you almost like 500 kilograms of downward pressure to keep the car stuck to the ground. So this scoop here, roof scoop, basically I did it in yellow to kind of complement the Brazilian flag. Air goes in, cools down the engine, and that's what it does.